What's up, guys? I got a ton of stories for us today. Title of the show today is RFK Jr. has removed the COVID-19 vaccine from the childhood vaccine schedule. And there's just a bunch of other stories relating to healthcare. So we're going to talk about that. What is healthcare? Who needs it? Who deserves it? All kinds of stuff. We also have other stories to get into. Ozzy Osbourne unfortunately died today. We have an update about the Luigi Mangione story. Israel, Russia, as usual. Some clips from Donald Trump, and just a ton of stuff to get into. And with me to get into that today is we've got a few people here today, which someone just had me playing in the background. That was cool. We got Sean and Stork and TJ. What's up, guys? Got a full panel today almost.
You can't spring on me that Ozzy died, man. Right? Like,
you didn't hear about that?
No, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah, sorry.
Like minutes ago.
Yeah, no, that happened like an hour before the show. Hey, Melted, I see your chats, man. What do you want?
Fuck.
You know you have I have Discord too, right? You know that?
Do you know the cause or anything?
No,
probably age, man.
Yeah, I think he just passed away. Like it was these.
I mean, I went to Ozfest like 2002 and 2003, and I think it was 2003 he was on stage saying it was going to be his last concert ever, and 20 years later he was still touring a few months ago, wasn't he?
Yeah,
well,
well, actually,
like only a week or two ago.
So okay, well, since we're talking about it, I'll jump to it. Let's see, I had it pulled up.
Quick little fun fact: for my 16th birthday, my grandma got me Ozzy's Greatest Hits.
Very
Back
nice.
to the beginning. Farewell concert was weeks ago. His last show. And the family statement says he was surrounded by his family at the time of his death.
Dude, and to me, it feels like, you know, he felt as though he served his purpose, right? He did his final show. He's able to just
that's what I was gonna say is like
from all of it, and was able to just let go.
Ozzy Osbourne dead at 76 post farewell show. Ozzy Osbourne, the iconic frontman of the Black Sabbath, of Black Sabbath, not the Black Sabbath. Has passed away at the age of 76. His death comes shortly after he gave a farewell performance. Osbourne has been battling health issues, including Parkinson's disease, which ultimately led to his retirement from live performances. So, yeah, he passed away after his farewell show. And my first thought in this is, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people, the moment people retire and they stop working seems to be the moment their body and their life finally just like goes away. They die. You die when you retire.
Apparently that's not what happened to him though. Apparently what happened to him is he just kept going and he just started really like just going down, and he just kept going and going. Like Sean was I think it was Sean who was saying that he was trying to retire, and then he didn't retire, and then he kept going, and it just, I mean, it says he was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2019. Yeah. He had pneumonia in 2019. He had emphysema. He had like several things wrong with him.
When you live that, you know, rock star lifestyle, it takes its toll on the body. And you know, what's the saying about like,
look, Mick Jagger ain't been hit yet.
But what's the saying that's like, when my time comes, I don't want to be like laying in my casket, this well preserved, you know, body that like never went out and lived. I want to be beaten and battered, and you know, when I get up to heaven or whatever, just be like, I gave it one hell of a ride. You know what I mean? And I feel like Ozzy lived that sort of life.
So this is respectful, even if it doesn't immediately come across as it. But do you think that his final words were Sharon or Mama, I'm coming home?
Actually, that was the final song he played. Mama, I'm coming home was his final song.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of people were sharing clips of that today. Naturally, you know.
Yep. Dude, a legacy, right? Like, you hope to make your mark on the world in one way or another, and this man did. So respect to him. And when it's our time, it's our time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
end of an era for sure.
Absolute legend in just music history. So it does suck to lose him. I know my family is they've gone to his concerts and stuff like that. So I told my mom earlier, and she's like, "What? No, she didn't believe it. She's like, that's fake news." I was like, "No, it's not." She's like, that fucking sucks." So
I just wish I had found out from somebody besides Tyler Today News, but yeah.
No, you found it.
I mean,
you get the news here first. That happened today. So sorry.
It is pretty nice that he didn't like retire and then spend 4 or 5 or 10 years just slowly deteriorating. He pretty much said, "Peace out, guys. I'm done."
Yep. Just going out like a legend.
Yeah.
Nelson said he was spamming the chat for no reason. What an asshole.
He's just trying to get your chat count up.
I guess so.
Well, it counts unique chatters
Yeah,
too, though. So
It's only unique
unfortunately-
chatters. It doesn't. He's just trying to make the chat look active. I appreciate it. But okay, we'll shift it back over to here. But does anyone have anything else to add on Ozzy Osbourne's death?
Rest in peace, brother.
That was dude. That was perfect. Wow.
What more can be said?
No, that
Anyhow,
was perfect. Yeah, I can't say anything better than that. That was beautiful. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Gotta love
Sean,
it.
did we just become best friends?
I think we did.
Do you want to go do karate in the basement?
Yeah, can you guys just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
leave and go kiss or something? Like, anyway.
You
Okay.
gotta buy me dinner first, and then we have a cuddle session.
There you go.
Uh,
All right, let's get to some real news.
Somebody screenshot the eyes on Stork that he just made when I said that. That was
Yeah, that's a
beautiful.
meme now.
Someone clip that. Yeah, someone clip that. All right. Just in, right before I started the show, actually, RFK released this video. Just in, RFK Jr. has officially removed the COVID shot from the childhood vaccine schedule, and he did so in this video here. Let's watch.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS Secretary, and I'm here today with NIH Director Dr. Jay Bhattacharya and FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
That ends today. It's common sense and it's good science.
There's no evidence healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
Produced by the U.S.
Well, there we go, guys. The vaccine for COVID has officially been removed. It never should have been on there in the first place.
Agreed.
So that, I mean, yeah, this is just one of those things that has been a long time coming. I'm glad RFK could finally announce that this is being removed. Now we need to start seeing investigations into adverse effects. That's what I want to see, because a lot of that has gone undiscussed.
Well, there's the level of like, you know, legally they have no accountability for any adverse effects, right? Like that was part of what was all
Sure, but even if there's no
terrible about the vaccine mandate.
if there's no recourse, there should at least be some sort of reparations from the
Disclosure.
government, because the government coerced so many people into taking this and then gave these authorizations. So maybe don't put the companies at fault, but put the government itself at fault and make them
Sure,
liable
another-
for any adverse health effects as a result.
A class
I
action
said
lawsuit
both.
against the U.S. government. Like, give
Basically.
me another COVID check, baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I
so-
say both, but like if you go back to the 86 National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act, and that's where the whole idea of not being able to sue vaccine companies for injuries comes from. Their statement was that vaccines are inherently unsafe, and that because of that, it's impossible to make them safe so that there's no negative effects. And that's how they convinced us to make them mandatory in 86. That's got to end.
I mean, I can understand that argument in a sense because, like, isn't a normal vaccine a weakened form of the virus or whatever that is injected so that your body can learn how to fight it with like a weak opponent, and then you have immunization against it in case you catch the real thing.
That's not
Yeah.
what the mRNA vaccines are.
Right, absolutely. That's why COVID.
Right.
That's why the COVID vaccine is different. But
Yeah, they would call those.
Well, I don't
attenuated-
like calling it a vaccine though. It's an injection.
It's not.
actually.
Yeah, it's
right.
not a
It's,
vaccine.
well, it's a gene therapy.
Right.
But so I can
Again, the
see that.
vaccine therapy part. I'm just like,
It's a
I
gene
can-
therapy.
Yeah, not
yeah,
vaccine
yeah,
therapy.
yeah.
But so I can see the argument that, hey, we are injecting you with a live virus. It's just a weak weakened form of it. So like we can't actually call that safe, right?
Yeah.
I can see that argument for whatever that bill you were talking about was.
Yeah, it's 1986. It's called the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act, and I agree with you there. The trouble is that what they found is that if they only do attenuated vaccine viruses, they don't actually work, or attenuated virus vaccines, they don't actually work. So they started adding in what they call adjuvants, which is like irritants that activate your immune system sort of like in a blanket way. And then because it's more activated, it notices the attenuated vaccine and reacts to it. That's where the whole, like, what are these crazy heavy metals in our vaccines doing and why are they there? That's how RFK became famous like this for this avenue, because he started like with mercury in the water system and fish. And then while he was suing like the EPA, I think it was, for that kind of stuff, he started meeting moms at his like speeches and stuff. They're like, look, this is my kid. Here's the research. Look into this stuff. And then he got to where he is now.
Right.
And that this is one of the reasons why I don't like calling them vaccines specifically, is because the entire concept, what we learn in school a vaccine isn't what it is anymore. And so we're playing a semantic game calling it this. And it's if it was described to everybody, explained what it was and everything like that, and then they actually explained that there are all of these other things in that vaccine to achieve this goal, I would be more okay with calling them vaccines. But what we learn in school isn't what's happening. And that's the problem I have just in general with the whole thing.
So
there is another thing that's interesting from that video that we can get into in a second, Tyler. Did you notice anything else in that video we just watched?
it felt very scripted.
Why do I feel like you're gonna bring up our conversation we had in DMs?
I'm just saying there was something else interesting about that particular video that we just saw, Tyler.
Break it down for us, bro. Break it down for us.
Matt Stork would just like to make a note that the ethnic breakup of the medical industry is not majority white.
It's not just not majority white. The guy Makar or whatever, the second guy in that video was not born in the United States. Neither was the other guy.
Yeah, and he's one of the top officials overseeing the health of all Americans.
One of them was born in Egypt. The other one was born in India.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but when we get into the next story, then I do start having a problem with things like that. And yeah, I will. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The second guy was actually born in the UK to Egyptian immigrant parents.
But still, the point you're bringing up with that, it goes into the next story that we can jump to. We all here agree that the COVID vax or COVID shot, whatever you want to refer to it as, I try to refer to it as a shot.
I call it the clot shot.
The clot shot, yeah. Go watch the documentary from Died Suddenly. That'll fucking put some fear in you.
Yes, and before we shift from that, England has been doing hearings on the damage done from these things for like 1.5 or 2 years now. We haven't, but Britain has. The UK has. I can find links to that if you want it. I just don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head.
I don't doubt it. I mean, if I was any other country receiving these shots from the United States and then you start hearing reports of adverse effects, you're damn right I'm going to start investigating. I would hope some countries are doing investigations.
The one doctor, he's either British or Australian, and I think he lives in Australia. And he's actually a PhD of nursing, essentially. And he's one of
That's Campbell, right?
Yeah. Joseph, not Joseph Campbell.
John Campbell.
John Campbell. And he's the one of the leading guys who's essentially just talked about it. But he's actually like got a PhD in research. Like that's what his PhD is in. His medical qualifications are nursing. And so these same people essentially who are like nurses need to be respected, all this other stuff. When he starts talking about COVID, they're like, he's just a nurse. What does he know? And it's just like,
yeah. But that guy is the one that I was talking. I didn't remember his name until you started describing him. So again, thanks for the assist. You seem to have a fucking beautiful knack for alley-oop and what I'm talking about. But he if you go to his channel, he has where he's like watched those debates in UK Parliament.
Correct.
And he will break down all of the arguments against the COVID damages going on right now for us. So
Yeah.
oh, Tyler, I'm not the chatbot anymore. I was the chatbot for like 5 minutes.
You were?
It was in front of my face, but you moved it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I noticed that.
The chat wasn't very active, and then before it got active, I was like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. It doesn't obscure his camera that bad. And then it started getting active, and I was like, all right, that looks bad.
Oh, I don't mind it. I'll be the chatbot for the day. It's
Well, there
okay.
you go. You got it. It looks like you're looking towards it now. Me and you. So, but anyway, I want to jump to this next story that Mad Stork and I were kind of alluding to here. So a pregnant mother in Tennessee died. Restart that. Pregnant mother in Tennessee denied care for being unmarried. So yeah, this mother, she lives in a small rural area in Tennessee. She went to go get care for, she's pregnant, and they denied her for religious reasons because she's not married.
That
What
doesn't
is the
sound.
what is the Medical Ethics Defense Act? I've never even heard of that before.
So
It's a Tennessee Act specifically. It's not a nationwide thing. In the United States, most medicine and medical things are mostly regulated per state by board and practices and stuff like that. So there's the U.S. and HHS, and then there's the NIH and all those different organizations, and those kind of establish standard practices and procedures. But then each state has its state licensing board, which is still a public-private kind of thing that deals with certifying who's a doctor and stuff like that.
So
Does that make
she
sense?
did an interview anonymously because she fears of repercussion because she does live in a smaller area. But last Thursday at a town hall in Jonesboro, Tennessee, a 35-year-old woman shared her story. She was denied prenatal care by her physician because they objected to the fact that she wasn't married, nor did she plan to be. She'd been with her partner for 15 years, and they have a 13-year-old child. While going through her medical history, the physician told her that because she was unwed, they didn't feel comfortable treating her because it went against their values, and she should seek care elsewhere. At the time of the appointment, the woman believed she was about 4 weeks into her pregnancy. Now she's traveling out of state to Virginia to receive prenatal care. This is the first reported case of a woman being denied prenatal care for being unmarried in the state of Tennessee. On April 24th, Tennessee's 2025 Medical Ethics Defense Act went into effect. It gives physicians, hospital systems, and insurers, among others, the legal right to deny healthcare to patients based on religious, moral, or ethical beliefs. There are no protections for people in rural areas with limited options. There's no requirement for referral for patients elsewhere, and there's no legal recourse. The woman at the town hall explained that her representatives are not responsive to her questions, even as she repeatedly called Senator Marsha Blackburn, who, when she reached staff at the Senator Bill Hagerty's office, they told her he's not obligated to listen to his constituents.
Damn, pretty savage.
Is you is or is you ain't my constituency.
Is you is or is you isn't? Because even if you is, I don't give a fuck.
That's so crazy, man.
But no,
Like,
so
what does the word constituent mean if they're not actually the ones that you're supposed to be representing? I don't even understand what that just said.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
just because you're there representing somebody doesn't mean you're obligated to listen to them.
yeah, you don't have to listen to every single one of your constituents, which I guess is fair. If you listen to everybody, you won't, you kind of have to go with like wisdom of the crowd kind of thing. But that, how do you get the wisdom of the crowd if you're not listening to the people? So it's, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword.
The loudest voice,
yeah.
Sure.
But anyway, what I want to touch on is, of course, people should not be forced to work on things that they believe go against their religious values. Sure, but the fact that they're not required to give referral or recourse, that's ridiculous in my opinion. If I as a doctor have a religious, what is it?
Objection or
Like I just have a religious view on something that I don't, and this person's doing something I don't agree with religiously, a religious objection or whatever to whatever they're doing, and then I'm just like, oh, you just get no health care. I'm not going to refer you to anybody. There's no one else you can see. Just figure it out. I feel like you as a doctor, you're supposed to have the do no harm, right? So if you yourself don't want to work on this person because you have religious obligations, you could at least refer them to someone else.
I want to be clear. The do no harm bit is really just more of a general guideline thing. That is not a real thing, that they all have to take the Hippocratic Oath. They are not obligated to do anything. Depending on which state you are, they're not even obligated to give care. That's just not really a thing.
It's kind of crazy to me though, because like if someone gets like traumatically injured with something and they get rushed to the hospital and they're about to die, and it's like, oh wait, can you tell me this person's religion real quick before I operate on them to save their life?
It's funny you should mention that, TJ.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like hospitals should have a certain obligation as long as, you know.
Well, because like
I don't know.
a scenario I'm thinking of, TJ, like imagine a woman like gets into a car accident or something, taken to the emergency room late at night, only one surgical doctor on staff that can work on her, and then he's like going through her medical record, you know, because he's got to check to see if she's allergic to anything, whatever else, and he sees that she's had abortions. He's like, oh, nope, can't operate. She's had abortions.
Just let her go.
Yep.
Let her go.
It's funny you should mention that, because let's just pretend hypothetically you are of a religion essentially that you just don't want to work with another religion. Essentially, you can discriminate just based on that. Just hypothetically.
This you can now legally discriminate through religion. Like if I as a Christian and there's some Catholic that comes in and I don't agree with their Catholic views, I'd be like, get the fuck out.
Ooh, spicy.
Let's just say hypothetically, let's say an entire industry was now somewhere around 40% some religion that disagreed with Christian, let's say. And let's just say they randomly and just whenever they feel like it, decide not to work with Christians anymore.
Well, it's the same thing in there was a story I talked about in so what Stork's talking about is, and it was what we were alluding to earlier with the RFK video, is that we're now seeing in the United States that the majority of the health industry is not white Christian anymore. So if it's not white Christian anymore, and I'm not saying it should be, I'm just saying if we have one majority that now has legal action to deny people care because they don't have their religion, that's a fucking huge issue. What if half the doctors you see are one religion that refuse to work with anyone that isn't of that religion?
Now, clarifying question, just to make sure that I'm wrapping my head around this properly. Is this like each individual doctor can say that, and then if the if the hospital, like for example, most of the hospitals in this country, even if the nurses and the doctors are not, most of the hospitals in this country are ran by some flavor or another of Christian. So, can the hospital fire the doctor in this case for refusing to treat, like if like say a lot of the hospitals in this country are ran by like Adventist Health is Seventh-day Adventist, right? Can the Seventh-day Adventist who has hired say a Muslim doctor fire the Muslim doctor, or does this law protect them from that as well?
They would not be able to fire it because that would be discrimination under religious grounds, which would be part of different national acts.
Right. They can refuse to treat you based on religion, but you can't fire them based on religion.
Right. So you as the patient can be like, I want to go as a Seventh-day Adventist. I want to go to the hospital that is ran by Seventh-day Adventists, and then the doctor that they have hired can be like, I don't treat Seventh-day Adventists.
Yep.
Yeah, correct. So we're officially going to start calling it the Hippocrates, the Hippocratic oath.
Well, I looked it up because I wasn't sure. Like it turns out that the hospitals don't require Hippocratic oath, but the licensing board or the university that you got trained at can.
Yes. So certain schools require you to do it. Certain schools don't require you to do it. One of the reasons that they got away with it, for example, is there are certain religions that say you shouldn't take oaths. And so those religions essentially weren't able to do the oath to graduate. That is one of the reasons that they got rid of the oath being required from all of these different places. Now, what it was I was specifically getting to was I started linking Tyler, and I had this conversation yesterday with somebody in a chat somewhere, and there was actually someone in the medical profession who randomly started piping up, was like, oh yeah, they're all from here. And so it turns out, and I've actually got some firsthand, well, I guess secondhand knowledge of this from someone I know in real life. Somewhere in the 90s to 2000s, basically all of the medical schools started getting taken over by certain minorities from certain countries, and they now make up a large portion of the admissions and other portions of the medical thing. What I linked Tyler to specifically earlier was DEI stuff. So almost all of these medical schools now have a DEI program. And if you start counting just how many white men there are in these programs, that's not even counting if they're gay, straight, or anything like that, okay? Just white men, they make up less than 22% of Stanford School of Medicine, for example. And if you go to other places like Harvard and some of these places, it's about the same. And once you go to Baylor, for example, it's overwhelmingly one way or the other. And so what we are seeing is a large portion of our medical systems are becoming Muslim.
So are you saying that white people aren't going to be able to get medical care in the future?
No, that's actually the funny part. There is still like the Stanford one. Is it the Stanford one? I believe it's the Stanford one that I took a screenshot of. If you kind of know anything about the bell curve, you know that most extreme geniuses and idiots, are men. Essentially, both sides of the bell curve. You have more extreme geniuses and extreme retards are men. And I mean that retarded in a medical sense.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, women, not as many retards, but not as many geniuses.
Yeah, they tend to be more in the middle. Women
tend to be more in the middle.
Yeah.
Now, if you were going to say something like engineering or doctors, would you typically find more men or women in those fields?
Men
traditionally, unless you have the DEI illusional medical facilities.
And it turns out the Stanford School of Medicine is 60% female.
Yeah.
So there are still some white people in these schools, but they're not men. No. The men are not allowed in these schools anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, so like I'm not going to go into the whole story or whatever, but I got into UC Davis on academic scholarship, and I was like the only white dude in my clinical nutrition coursework. The only one, as far as
correct.
And I had classes, like I had labs with people that couldn't even read their labs, but because they were paying like 20 grand more in foreigner tuition, they outnumbered us by far.
I'm gonna take a random guess here, Sean. The professors you had, they didn't have many problems communicating with some of these students. There were probably at least one or two professors in your program that they didn't even necessarily have to speak English when they were talking to the students.
Well, so have to, I would not dispute, but I had like one, Asian, Chinese professor, and then everybody else. I had one Indian, one Asian, and everybody else was white, but most of them were women. One of them was like borderline morbidly obese, and her favorite subject to teach was health at any size, the HAES movement, where if your doctor tells you that losing weight is one of the things that you need to do to promote your health, that they are just prejudiced against your weight and they're not doing their job right. I'm like, you're teaching a fucking nutrition course. What are you doing?
So when you also start looking into country of origin for some of these people, and you find out that the average IQ from some of the countries of origin for these people who are becoming our medical doctors, you find out the average IQ in those countries are 80, 90.
Yeah, and the criteria for the school that they took in their country is lower than the criteria is here. They just memorize and spit it out, and they use AI and cheating and like Cliff Notes and stuff like that. Like I've watched it happen
I'm not even going to get into the AI part, but I am just simply going to say that we seriously go Google right now, okay? Like anyone listening to this, go Google like school of medicine or something like that, or medical like schools. Go find the staff or faculty page, or better yet, find the class of photos, okay? Like find the class of 2024 Stanford School of Medicine photo.
You'll see it right there in front of you.
Yep.
Copy.
It's just there. It's
Yep.
literally just there in front of you.
So I want to
So,
jump. I
real
want to
quick,
jump to
to
this
close
next
it out.
story. Yeah, after TJ.
To
'cause
close it out.
Yeah, you didn't say nothing. Let's get you in here.
I just want to know: do we all agree or disagree with the Tennessee law or whatever?
Oh, I disagree
there?
with it vehemently.
Disagree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the idea that a doctor should be forced to treat somebody in any kind of circumstance. It's the same idea as like the
Making a cake kind of thing.
exactly. The cake maker shouldn't have to make a cake that has like a giant dildo being shoved up some dude's ass, and if they don't want to do it.
Right. But if someone comes into the hospital and they have something shoved somewhere, they should be forced to treat it. I'm kind of right there with you, where I do see the whole cake argument.
Regardless, like by the time you're telling me no, you've already charged me for admission. You're charging me for the
But yeah, it would definitely rely on context heavily. Like if you're telling me to lop off body parts that don't need to be lopped off, or telling me to abort a kid and kill a kid,
right? That's
different. But if you're talking about forcing someone to give life-saving care, they're the doctor on staff. I mean, yeah.
Also, hot take. Like, if especially if we're talking about Christianity here, go to the Old Testament, and it often talks about how a man knew a woman and made her his wife. There's no such thing as a wedding if you go back far enough. The wedding is supposed to be the filtration process that you make the man swear to take care of the woman before you let him be married to her. The marriage is the sex.
I want to stay on. I want to stay on healthcare. What were you gonna say, Matt Stork?
One, he's correct, but two, specifically with some of this other stuff, the reason that the medical system is okay with the change on this though is because there's standard operating procedures that doctors are supposed to follow with things. And if you're on an H-1B visa or one of these PhD visas or anything like that, and you have someone sponsoring you, you sit there and say, I will do exactly what it is you tell me to do. And not question at all the fact that I know this person has X wrong with them. We're going to run $500,000 worth of medical treatments that have nothing to do with what's actually wrong with these people, because that's the standard operating procedure.
So they
run up a $70,000. I personally have something wrong with me, okay? That all the doctors have to do is take a stethoscope, put it to my chest, and listen for something, and that's it. Once you've heard it, you know exactly what's wrong.
Right.
And I can't, if I explain to you the amount of money that I owe to hospitals after they ran up the bill on shit.
Yeah, there's a level of, money driving.
I'm lucky to be in California in this. Well, that, and I get insurance from my father since he passed when I was younger, from his Social Security. So just the way that things work in California, I don't owe anything for all the health stuff I've had to go and do, thankfully. Yeah. But people complain about that though. They rack up bills that they shouldn't be racking up, and people always talk about how health insurance is just health and healthcare in general is too costly. And so I'm gonna segue to this next story. Can I
give final thoughts?
Yeah.
Just super quick final thoughts.
But
go
ahead.
I'm not fully opposed. I think that anyone who comes into like an ER setting, that people should not be able to deny someone healthcare. When it comes to like getting the prenatal care, like you're picking your doctor that's gonna be there with you throughout like this whole journey. You form like a personal relationship with them and stuff like that. And so for something more like that, I'm not fully opposed to denying being someone's, prenatal caregiver or whatever. But I feel like it is kind of a slippery slope. And so you gotta be careful with it.
And no, I agree. And back to what I was saying, a lot of people complain about the healthcare costs and stuff like that. And one of the things that would vastly help just the healthcare industry in general is if they stop, asking for procedures that clearly don't need to be done, overcharging on procedures. They overcharge insurers when they know they can get more money out of it. And then you have this story here. I want to point this out too. Notice the wording of this. They're not saying illegal immigrant. I noticed today that a lot of news sources changed the wording in this, and I'll say it at the end here. 3 Democrat-led states have rolled back Medicaid access for people lacking permanent legal status. Lacking permanent legal status. What does that mean? That means they're an illegal fucking immigrant. I noticed a lot of news outlets changed their titles today from lacking legal status or being an illegal immigrant to now lacking permanent legal status.
So do you see that I'm debating in my head, like, is this a good thing in the sense that they are agreeing with us now and just avoiding the dangerous sort of terminology of illegal immigrants getting Medicare? Because that's part of the problem why everything is so expensive too, because if the doctor can't refuse you for not being a citizen, and then I as a citizen have to pay for it, like you go into a clinic and you have to pay full price because you have a job and you're American, but the dude, the lobby is full of illegals that are not paying a cent.
I'm gonna tell you a story right now, okay? The right side of my bottom lip is slightly bigger than the left side. Do you know why? Because you want to take a guess?
Because you fucking spoke up to me a little too much.
Yeah. No, because my 3rd week in Korea, I went to a Hapkido Dochan and signed up for Hapkido, did Hapkido, and I was sparring with one of the Sajangins, and they knew that I've been grappling a little bit. They knew that I've done a couple of martial arts. And so the guy feints with his left, and I think he's coming back with a right. But what he actually did was quick step with the left, come up with the right as a feint, and then come up and connect with his left. And when I tried grappling the right, I ducked my head just far enough that when he went up with the left foot, it shoved my bottom lip right into here, slitting my whole lip right here, and I had to go get stitches my 3rd week in Korea. I hadn't gotten on the healthcare plan yet for working in Korea, so I had to go to the emergency room. I had to get 7 stitches in my bottom lip with medicine. Guess how much that cost?
3 cats and a goat.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Probably like 2,500 to 5,000.
TJ, what you got?
I got
$100. I'm gonna say $150.
Well, wait, you were in a different country or what?
Different country, no insurance, with medicine, emergency room.
In American money, 2,500 to 5,000 is my guess.
I'm gonna say $500 US.
And Sean, what'd you got?
I'm playing the Price is Right. I'm gonna say it's $150.
Sean is the closest without going over. Without insurance, $300 and I think $68 roughly.
Oh, bro, they should have charged you $1 more because everybody knows 369 is the better number.
that was my issue. I thought we were going based on American currency. In America, that would have been 25 to 5,000 without insurance.
No. That was it was about 368,000 Korean won, so it was probably about $300.
No, I'm saying if it had happened in the United States.
Yeah.
Oh no! If it happened in the United States, I'd be fine. You would get at least a $2,000 or $3,000 ER.
That's what I was saying.
Then you would get the local numbing and everything. They would charge you a separate bill just for that of like $500 or $600. Then they would charge you a separate bill for the doctor who came in and looked at you for 5 or 10 minutes before the nurse practitioner or nurse came in to actually stitch you up. Then you would get a separate bill for the nurse who actually came in and did that. Then you would get a separate bill for the actual stitching. Then you would get a separate bill.
Start.
We get it.
We get it. You don't have to keep going. I don't think I've ever said this on the show, but I'm actually licensed to sell health insurance in the state of California, and the entire industry is just fucking disgusting. I couldn't work there. It's so slimy. All the jobs they tell you that you're not going to cold call people, and then all you end up doing is fucking cold calling people, and then getting them to buy insurance plans that they don't fucking need, and then not only that, you basically extort them for their friends and family's information so you can go and do the same to them. It's fucking disgusting.
Right.
And then we're adding
And-
on to Stork's little thing. You're also going to have an upcharge to cover the illegals that don't have any kind of anything that you're going to pay for regardless.
But see, that's the thing. I was in another country uninsured. That's how much I paid. That's because that is actually what it costs. And one, they don't really have illegal. Well, they do have illegals in Korea, but it's like such a smaller thing. But do you know how much an MRI cost roughly when I was living there? About how much it would cost? Just take a wild guess.
$50.
I'm guessing games. Yeah, $25.
Just say it. Yeah, stop the guessing games. Just say it.
280 something thousand won was how much it cost for an MRI. So which means it was probably about $240.
Yep.
Yeah. So here, though, we wind up with hospitals that basically buy their MRI machine on loan, and you're paying for them paying it off when you get it.
Oh, that's even the worst part about it is because when they're done paying it off, they just own the MRI machine, right?
Except they get a new one by that time.
They get a new one before they ever finish paying off the first one.
Right.
Yeah, because
And then they have a
technology's
dude
updated.
Yeah, and then they have a dude with a 20-pound chain that gets sucked into it and dies, and then it's the doctor's fault for.
I
Nah.
heard tidbits of that story.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
have
know
that
all the
pulled up. I
details.
should probably
Might-
find it.
you keep going. I'll dig it up and send it to you.
Okay.
But literally dumb shit like that, and I'm just like, I do not understand how the we have anything going on in the U.S. But it's even worse than that because the old MRI machines, they don't go and sell them to somebody like a
They
countryside
just go to a
place.
scrapyard.
Yeah, they don't put it in a scrapyard for people to pull parts from or any of that. They just sell you a new MRI.
Yeah.
But
So
they're anybody familiar with Louis Rossman and everything, the whole right to repair thing?
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's gone off about this. Like there is literally a guy out there who gets sued by the medical industry because he will go in and basically fix this medical technology because the hospital can't afford or
Our
doesn't
own
want to
military has
go
been
buy it.
complaining about that right to repair shit because there's a lot of military equipment that they can't work on.
They literally cannot work on this shit.
It's
And I don't-
ridiculous.
I don't-
It's
don't let-
ridiculous.
Don't let me sidetrack it, but this ties into modern monetary theory. As long as you're making more money than you're paying out in debt, then you're still considered positive, and it's nonsense. It just builds the debt forever, and then now we're paying so much money in interest that like the money that we owe to just the Federal Reserve is almost as much as we collect in taxes every year.
Correct.
And then so I want
it's fucking dumb.
we'll tie it back into the news story.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I want to read this further because what we're talking about here is following the Medicaid, with the access of the new big beautiful bill, whatever you want to call it. A lot of this funding has been removed, and so it's not that these Democrat states want to remove the funding; it's that they have to. They don't have the money. And that's one thing that Democrats don't realize when they're all calling for universal health care. It's where do you get the money? These Democrat states would love to pay for these illegals. They don't have the money. For nearly 20 years in California, Maria would call her sister, a nurse in Mexico, for advice on how to manage her asthma and control her husband's diabetes instead of going to the doctor in California. That's because she doesn't have legal status. So she couldn't get health insurance, and she skipped routine exams, relying instead on home remedies and at times getting inhalers from Mexico. She insisted on using only her first name for fear of deportation. Well, yeah, you should fear deportation. You shouldn't be here.
Right.
Things changed for things changed for Maria and many others in recent years when a handful of Democrat-led states opened up their health insurance programs to low-income immigrants regardless of their legal status. Maria and
Thanks,
her
Obama.
husband signed up the day the program began last year. It changed immensely like the earth to the heavens, Maria said in Spanish of Medi-Cal. California's Medicaid program, having the peace of mind and getting insurance, yada yada. But basically,
Wait,
kids,
So
places
she
like
didn't even
California.
say it in English?
Yeah,
She's not even praising it in English.
what's should have happened if guys, if you ever help TTN become a big mainstream news station, right? You know what I'm gonna do? I would interview this person, and then immediately after she walks out the door for the interview, ICE would be waiting there for her. That's what I would do.
Bravo.
It'd be a hallway arrest.
I'll be your doorman, and I will hold the door open for her.
Be like, right this way, ma'am. Right this way. Good interview. Thank you for announcing that you're not a citizen. And right this way. We'll take you
called
to
you an
the
Uber.
plane.
Yeah, we called you an Uber. The people
Uber
even
Ice.
wear uniforms.
Damn, that must be above the VIP.
So,
No, I'm here for the controversial statement that everybody will disagree with. Okay, you ready?
Let's go.
sure,
Healthcare should be paid for by the government.
socialist.
So you're fine with universal healthcare.
No, I didn't say I was fine with universal healthcare.
So I think you need to elaborate more if you're gonna have a hot take like that.
I said healthcare should be paid for by the government for U.S. citizens.
For U.S.
still
citizens
social.
in all cases, or
No, it's not socialism.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little bit of an argument, and you guys will disagree with me on it, and it's fine. Like it's fine.
wait, I have
But
a clarifying
look-
question first.
Yeah, go
I asked for all cases of healthcare. It should be
No, not all cases of healthcare.
okay. So where's the line for you in that before we continue?
The line essentially is anything that can be avoided essentially shouldn't be paid for by the U.S. Taxpayer at all. So
Elective
That's damn near everything.
I was gonna say
Well,
define
no, it's
avoided.
no, it's not. For example, most countries because there are lots of successful countries and they have way better healthcare than we do.
Mhm.
Most of the countries that do actually do this,
Name them.
one of the things, what?
Name them.
I will in a second. Most of the ones that have this kind of care, one of the things that they don't pay for is cancer. They just flat out do not cover cancer. And that's because cancer essentially doesn't have a cure. So it is an incurable disease, and most types of cancer are tied to lifestyle life choices. So essentially,
Yeah, that's a big
it's
rabbit
just,
hole.
what's that?
That's a big rabbit hole, but don't let me interrupt.
No, it is a big rabbit hole, and that's fine. We can go down that. Like I said, you guys are going to disagree with this. But for instance, if you're 8 years old and you get a cold,
Taken care of.
Your mother should make you some fucking soup, bro.
Yeah, watch Price is
you're
Right and
right.
drink some
But
Sprite.
if you go to the doctor, you shouldn't be sitting there with a fucking $500 charge to have him tell you your child has a cold.
You shouldn't go to a doctor for a cold.
You're correct, but if you're a mother sitting there worried about their sick child,
Then do
you're
your
gonna
job.
go to the doctor because you don't know. And by the way, colds can turn into pneumonia and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah,
to
if
say
you
that
don't-
you're not
All
gonna
right,
go to
let's
the
let's
doctor-
use a fever example instead. That kid's
Okay.
that your 3-4-year-old child has their temperature rising to a scary
Cool.
sort of level. I think a parent
Okay.
should probably take their child into the hospital to get
probably take your child into the hospital to either figure out what's going on, run some tests, make sure it's nothing serious. Government should pay for that.
That's fair.
So
yeah.
so what Canada does is effectively what you're talking about right now. But when they refuse your service, or if they don't do it fast enough, they just say, "Well, have you ever considered letting us kill you?"
That is not what Canada does. Canada's healthcare is nothing like what it is I'm describing for a few key reasons. One of the key reasons would be, do you still have private health insurance in this system? Yes, you do.
Cool.
So you're saying baseline, sort of simple, like you fell off of a truck and your leg got broken, gets covered by government. But if you decide that you don't want to stop eating food and you wind up with type 2 diabetes and you need Una boots, you pay for it.
Pretty much.
I would I would agree mostly
in
with
broad, yeah, in broad strokes, I agree with you there. I just, man,
that. I
that's
would have to
such
see
a
it in
painful-
writing, yeah, because I don't want to like it's very arbitrary.
You may start to ask questions like, what does this cost? And the truth is in most countries that have this, they actually only charge about 1 to 2% of your income, and it's not tax deductible. You do not have a fucking way out of this. And for corporations, it is a non-tax deductible 1 to 2% as well. And all of this is covered, man. It is literally all of this is covered, and they don't. I mean, it's some of the best healthcare in the world.
I feel like breast implants is another form of medical procedure, and so I just want to be the first to vocalize my support for government-funded implants.
That's fine, but no, it's not covered.
So you're saying you're into socialities, socialisticities.
Social
Yeah. So I mean,
Go ahead.
if you're talking about like Now, I would have the argument against cancer because we're getting a bunch of cancer-causing agents put in our food and whatnot. So there's some debate to have there. But if there's some sort of medical condition that you wind, or like you were at a rodeo, let's say, and the bull jumped over the fence and gored your titty, and you need a breast implant to replace the one that got ripped off, I might be willing to entertain the government replacing that, but.
Generally, the government doesn't pay for that in most of the countries.
No, I would say no to all cosmetics in any kind of way.
Yeah, that is generally one of the things that just is not covered anywhere at all. And one of the countries that specifically that has this is one of the most cosmetic heavy industries or cosmetic heavy countries in the world, and they still don't do cosmetic surgery. So to be clear, it's they just don't cover it. And that is literally one of the top countries to have cosmetic surgery.
To jump back to the previous story, kind of tie it all in, I think that it is a beneficial thing that the Democrat states are finally coming around to, removing the health care for people who aren't citizens.
Yeah. One of the things that should be said about this, Sean, before you go off on it, because I know you probably have a lot of objections to this, and that's fine, is healthcare is not a human right.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But that's one of the key points to this is it's not a human right.
Anything that requires the labor of somebody else is not your right.
Yeah, you have the right to seek healthcare.
Unless we're talking about just couching my own statement here. Unless you're talking about like your parents feeding you, you do have the right to your parents feeding you.
Well, your parents have the right to feed you.
Your parents have the duty to feed you.
Yes.
Which
difference between a right and a duty.
Well, they're flip sides of the coin. If you have a right, then it's somebody else's duty. You know what I mean? It's somebody else's duty to manage it. Therefore, if it requires somebody else's labor without having some kind of biological tie to them, then it's not your right.
Wait, hang on. So I have a perfect follow up to that. I actually wasn't going to bring it up. It was the screen I just showed because I realized it's from 2023. But this what's called? I want to get your guys' thoughts on this.
What's it called?
Gay men have newborn baby killed after their surrogate is diagnosed with cancer.
I would, and if I ran it, we would never even get to that conversation happening.
After pregnant Brittany Pearson received a breast cancer diagnosis and delivered the baby at 25 weeks, the two men who hired Pearson to be their surrogate ordered that the child be denied crucial medical care, killing him.
Where's this at? This is in California?
Let's see. Does it
sounds like it?
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and just say California.
It might be. It very well might be. And if it's not, then it's probably also happened in California, and they just didn't talk about it because it's so normalized.
I don't know if does it even say.
I feel like this is also a conversation about whether or not surrogacy is a thing that should be happening, because you're basically renting a woman's body for 9 months, and it's also a conversation that needs to happen of like, should gay men be able to adopt babies?
Oh wow! Yeah, this just gets worse. I clicked the link to see the story about her getting cancer, and this is the fucking title: "Gay couple demanded surrogate mom abort baby when she found out she had cancer."
And when she said no, they're just like, just let it die.
Yeah. Oh, Sacramento. Oh,
what do you know?
All right. I thought so.
And just to clarify, just if this story wasn't disgusting enough for you guys, the mother, the biological mother, and her entire family offered to take custody of the child. They refused and denied care because they had legal custody.
But doesn't the mother always get legal custody over the father?
No, they bought the baby. Legally, you can buy children.
It's in California. You can buy children.
Yeah, it's baffling to me too, Sean. In California and other states, you can literally buy children from surrogates, and once you do that, once you signed all the papers, that baby is legally theirs. They're the guardians.
I understand. It's like what Stork was saying. There's semantic games all around this stuff. It wasn't on this subject, but like you're paying the woman for renting her womb. You're not technically buying the child, but once that contract has been signed, she has given up rights to her child. She has effectively adopted the unborn child to you.
Yep.
Yep.
But it's just so fucked up because it like once you get to a point where because basically they said that they don't want a baby that was born before 38 weeks. Which yeah,
If they
sure.
want a
Yeah, this
baby,
this
they'll get
isn't
married.
something you fucking plan for, dude. That's life. That doesn't mean you just be like, oh, it dies, it's dead, it can die.
To be clear, this whole reasoning, this whole case, should be why these people are never allowed to have a child.
Yes, I agree.
Because literally life just happens.
Life just
And their
happens, and they were
entire-
like, never mind.
Yeah, and their entire worldview, like this is a spicy take. You guys can agree or disagree as you see fit, but the gay lifestyle is a death cult. If everybody adopted it, humanity ends in one generation. So it is by definition a death cult.
I
Yes.
find it hard to argue against that.
So if you are in a death cult, you should not be given kids, period.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, there's
Fair.
just, and I don't want to rope them all into one category, but then we had this story recently too of that gay couple that were pimping out their 2 adopted children.
Yeah.
There's too many
There's a-
cases where it's like, all right, guys, I'm not saying it's all gay people, but let's just like make it so that that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
could
happen.
slow
I'm sure-
down
I'm-
the amount of going on, that would be cool.
Yeah,
I mean, you also have like Casey Anthony or whatever who like threw her kid in a dumpster or however that worked, and
Yep.
or no, she went out partying or whatever and let her kid die or something like that. So I think evil people will be evil people, and it doesn't matter if they're gay or straight. You know, evil's going to
That's true.
happen.
Real
You know what I mean?
quick, TJ. Do you know anything about lesbian couples in marriage?
Only what I've seen online.
Okay.
I'm just
There's a
kidding.
whole-
What is it? Are you good? Are you about to talk about like divorce rates?
well, there's a
Divorce rates
lot
is
of
one thing.
there's a lot of rates, but
it's actually more than that. Do
Yeah.
you know one of the other main statistics about lesbian couples?
I
in
don't
marriage?
hit me with it.
I know where he's going.
It's literally about abuse.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
are one of the most abusive couples as well. And it literally, like, you know, I know lesbians who are married. And honestly, my first thought is, man, I hope that doesn't go that way. It's not like, you know, oh, they're a cute couple or something. No, it's literally, I'm afraid that this one's going to beat that one, and I can already
Sure.
tell you which one's going to initiate that.
The dynamic of the social structure is being proven to not work as well as, you know, a
Well,
Correct.
couple, because that evolutionarily is how we as humans have
In
developed.
that
Exactly.
same
Oh, it's
study,
What you're making, which is fair, but yeah,
in that same study, gay men were actually the lowest.
in divorce
violent-
rates.
Yeah, no,
No,
not
in
divorce
violence.
rates. Lowest amount of violence in the relationship.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Men
it
fought the
turns
least.
out that. Well, this
I
is
mean,
It'd
this
just
is.
be crazy.
I
I
mean, if
don't know
your
how
entire
you guys feel about
Some
Jordan
bros hanging
Peterson,
out.
yay and nay kind of thing. Well, you know, there is a lot to that. But the other thing is one of the things Jordan Peterson says, and I don't agree with him on everything, but one of the things he said is with men, violence is always on the table. So men
Right.
always have a reason essentially to avoid.
to self-regulate the
escalating.
violence.
Yeah, it's a self-regulating system essentially in that case.
Dude, rebel
And,
with
and
no,
just stacking right on top of that real quick, if your entire sexual dynamic is based off of potentially ripping a hole in your buddy's asshole, like your line of what you consider violent and abusive may be a little bit further away than a normal person's.
Bye YouTube.
So I have a comment to add to that, and I just want to say that gay men are really misogynistic because you can insert it into anyone's beehole. It doesn't have to be a guy's. I'm just saying.
There's
Right.
there's an entire group of women out there that enjoy certain
That's a fact.
activities.
So why? Yeah, why do you have to? If you enjoy that, I mean, you can do that with women. You don't have to be with a guy. I'm just saying.
there,
Yeah.
there are literally women who out there who enjoy that, and it's
And then you can have a baby without having to buy it.
TJ has
It's-
no
it's
comment.
No, it's crazy that this conversation started with gay couple kills their newborn, and now we're talking about gay butt sex. Like,
Okay,
Well, no,
well,
we're talking
you
about
know,
how they
if-
don't
let's-
need to have gay butt sex. They can have straight
off
butt
the
sex.
rails, my friend.
Straight butt sex.
I will just simply get through this because I got to go soon. Here's the thing about gay couples essentially adopting.
Hit us with some knowledge.
Let's get the
Storm.
lowdown on Mad Stork's exit.
Yeah, he's the expert.
Exit only.
No, it's fine.
What you got?
One of the things about gay people adopting is there are higher incidents of a lot of things that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and they probably
Yeah.
shouldn't just be adopting.
Right.
Now, is it every couple? No. Is I forgot his name, the gay guy, conservative, on a lot of people's stuff. I
Matt
think
Stork?
he's been on Tim Pool and he's been on panels with Tim Pool. He's also
Dave Rubin?
former the Young Turks guy. Who am I thinking of?
Oh, I
former?
don't know.
Oh crap! I know who you're talking about. Oh,
Dave
damn it, Dave Rubin.
Dave Rubin. Thank you.
Oh, I said that.
Do I think he's going to be out there doing any of this stuff? No, I honestly don't. But it's not a 0% chance, and that's just kind of the way it is. I like the guy. I like a lot of his content, or at least I did. Honestly, I honestly don't watch.
I mean, I've never watched. Is that your sign off, Mad Stark? I know you gotta go.
Yeah, my sign off is going to be about gay people's buttholes.
There you go. Perfect.
Talking about the exit during the exit.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know,
That's an exit strategy.
I literally think that it's not as bad as what people think it is, but what you can have a tiger and it never attacks you. I think everybody should own a
If you
tiger.
keep it fed long enough.
What?
If you keep it fed well enough, yes. If you don't feed that tiger for a couple of days, it's going to eat you. I don't care how long you've owned it. It's going to eat you. If
There are
it gets hungry.
tiger attacks that are fed people. They just get fed up with a bull and like maul someone's face
Yeah,
off.
I was gonna say
Yep.
that it could still happen. I mean, look,
Wait,
I
what's-
don't want to bring up pit bulls, but
What are the two magicians' names? Roy
Siegfried and Roy.
and Siegfried
Yeah.
and Roy.
Yeah.
Those tigers were always fed.
Yeah,
But
my toxic
they were
trait
whipping them and shit too.
trait is that I think that I just have the aura to where I could go into Africa and befriend Pride of Lions, and that's probably the way that I'm going to go out.
I can't wait
Hey,
to
well-
report that, TJ.
That'd be great.
I'll make sure I got a news crew with me.
Make sure you live stream that
Live
shit.
stream it.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
blur it when I play it on stream. Be like, we
Let
lost,
there
we,
be
we,
some
we lost the
Johnny
homie today, guys.
Somali level of bullshit, you know, or what was it, the Tiger King?
I just need to know, TJ, when that happens, do I have your consent to use clips from that as an opener for the show?
As long as it's every episode, yes.
Oh yeah, no, it would be
Like,
every episode in memory of TJ, of course.
Cool.
Hey, whoa, every episode on the platforms which showing such violent when she
No, I
kisses
would
you
use
on
the
it.
clips that don't show the violence. That's why I said clips, okay? I would use clips.
Look, you say that until you realize that I actually do have the aura, and I am going to befriend them, and then
Sean
it's
is
gonna be
clipping that
the
for
story. Yep.
I
that-
tried, but it didn't do anything.
Man befriends
Shit.
Pride of Lions and becomes their pack leader, and is now terrorizing local villages and raiding and plundering them with his horde of lions.
Okay, anyway.
TJ just wants a harem.
Yeah.
What is this, like some white conqueror complex that you have? over the line?
Hey,
What's
it's
going on?
developing. I don't even know what the full extent of this storyline is. I'm just riding it as it goes.
I'm reading the
I'm
chat.
here for TJ season 7.
I'm not
Dude,
reading the chat
I'm gonna
out
be
loud. I'm not reading the chat out loud today, guys, because we got a full panel. I want everyone to be able to talk. But just so you know, I am reading all the chats. I love you guys too. Matt Stork, you got to get out of here. I'm kicking you out.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta
bye-
go pick
bye,
up
Matt
the
Stork.
line. You guys have fun. Have a good time.
Peace
I
out,
should
brother.
be on Chris's show later. Bye.
Hell yeah,
Pet the lions.
pet the lines. Okay, let me see if I can move. Move
Pet the big kitty.
you guys around. Oops.
You are wearing the shirt. We should have known.
Uh-oh.
Damn right.
I have you duplicated on stream.
Is it-
Talk again,
It is a lion.
Sean.
Oh, I'm here twice.
There we go.
What?
No, you're good now.
Very nice.
Hello.
I have taken over. There are
Nice,
two of
we
me.
streamed him twice.
There are two of me. Okay. Let's see. We do have a couple more health-related stories to get into. Guys, today, make sure you check out Outworld Live. Really big show today. They're having Ian Crossland on. Check out Ian Crossland, Joey Cannoli, and Nora. They're all going to be on today right after us.
I'm
So
a little
we got-
upset that I'm a little upset that you had the interview with him without me there. I was
Look.
really hoping that we could get into the metaphysical nature of reality, and missed opportunity on that one.
So just to clarify for TJ and everyone, when I do an interview with someone, I am not going to read the chat. I'm not going to display the chat. I'm not going to display any goals or alerts. It is going to be a one-on-one conversation where I interview the person and ask them a bunch of interesting questions and have a conversation with them.
And you know I was just trolling you.
I know.
That's
I know
I'm
that's
clarifying for everybody. That's what
Cool.
what that is intended to be. And I can't wait to have Ian on again. I don't know when I'll invite him on again. I want to wait a while. I don't want to be like an eager eager boyfriend or whatever. Rushing back to him right after the bar.
You gotta wait 3 days after you pull the numbers.
No, this is the internet world. You got to wait at least 3 weeks. So we can have him on again, like maybe next month. And remember, he said he wants to come on with you. So
All right.
he said he's like, have your co-host on, and then I told Stork as well that he could come on.
Very cool.
And then we'll see.
The Clipbot's been failing since the Rechtenwald interview. It's like saying that it something goes wrong. Has that been a regular thing, or did we break it with Rechtenwald?
I'm not sure. We just got the where's my money, bitch. We got Evan AU94. What's up, Evan? He said, fair enough. We're a bunch of maniacs. That's the $5 Rumble rant. Thanks, bro.
Dude,
we're a bunch of
degenerates
maniacs.
in the chat.
Bunch of degenerate. Well,
Be
no,
here
I just
with me.
if you guys go back and watch my Joshua Matthew Black interview, that was my first one, and I want to have interviews like that. That it was really fun. That Ian Crossland interview was so fun too. I've had a great week. Dude, I went deep sea fishing over the weekend. We can talk about that for a second. I went deep sea fishing.
Let's do it.
Oh man,
Catch
it
anything?
is so fun. Yes, I caught a lot. I have some picture. I could pull up some pictures on Facebook. I caught a sheephead. I'm gonna cook that tonight.
Killing It Since has a good comment. He says, all this talk of butt sex got Tyler drooling for Ian.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
so mean. That's so mean.
Oh my goodness.
That's fucked
Killing
up.
It Since got jokes.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the favorites in the chat.
That's why he's a mod. He knows
Always
he
got my
can talk
back.
shit.
Damn right.
Hey,
So
pictures of your fishing catches and of your
Excursion.
your victories.
hell yeah. What's it called? I got pictures. Let's see. I'm trying to pull it up right now. There we go. Here's my my sheephead. Pull this up for you guys on Facebook. Bam! Look at that! Look at that bad boy right there.
Yeah, yes sir.
I'm
Wow,
grabbing
when
it.
was this?
This is over the weekend.
Dude, is your fly down?
Yeah, you got me excited over here.
No, that's what's it called? You it's a belt and you put the rod up against it. It's to help with your back.
Okay.
Absolutely,
'Cause
put your
the-
rod against it.
Yeah,
Are you
these guys
holding
can
by
get
its
pretty heavy.
eyeballs?
What's up?
Are you holding the fish by its eyeballs? That
Oh,
is
do
the
you want to
most
hold it by its
deranged thing
mouth?
I've
Would you
ever
like to
seen.
hold it by its mouth, TJ?
Zoom in on those teeth, bro.
that's what
Zoom in on those
I
teeth.
can't zoom in on it. It's
Oh,
I can't zoom in on it. TJ,
All right.
those teeth will take my finger off. They're so sharp.
Okay.
So,
I
yes,
just
they told
never
me to
seen
grab it by
someone
the
holding
eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never seen that before.
But no, so this thing's got a huge head on it too. It was a lot of fight. It kept moving, so it's actually like leaning a little bit further away from me. But yeah, I cut this thing up, dude. It may not look that big. It had way more I got way bigger fillets from it than anything.
Thick boy.
That
Hell
belt
yeah.
holds Tyler's
Yeah.
massive rod. There you go.
I love this chat. I love this chat.
Dude, I'm never leaving.
Shitty Gov said Tyler eats ass. I bet. No, I'm a picky eater, bro.
Well,
You just
gotta-
But yeah, no. So I caught this. I also caught So I caught a bunch of whitefish. I caught some rock cod. I caught the one sheephead. I caught a barracuda. That thing was fucking dope. And then I caught a really big whitefish too. It was a whitefish a little bit bigger than this. And yeah, I got some fillets that I'm gonna cook up. They're some really big fillets.
Nicely done, sir.
Hell yeah, it's super fun. Anyway,
I had a phenomenal weekend as well. Went to what we call powwow. It's basically a big family reunion for the local tribe in my area, and it was like 4 days, good party, and they do their little ceremony where they got drums and their traditional dancers come out and kind of do their thing, all very performance and all that. But a lot of swimming on the river. When I showed you that picture a couple weeks ago of my dog right in front of the waterfall, that's the same campground. But we had clouds roll in on Sunday, so swimming was kind of limited. Well, I convinced our whole camp to go to the top of this old quartz quarry. I don't know, it's called Quartz Mountain. And it's basically top of the world in the area, and the sunset just lit the fuck up while we were up there, and it was phenomenal.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm all about that life, and it fucking hit.
dude, that was my first time on a boat out in the ocean, and man, I didn't get seasick. Thankfully, we took a bunch of medicine just in case, so I didn't get seasick. Sleeping on a boat, dude. I got rocked to sleep. That was so nice. Just the feeling of the waves while you're trying to sleep. Oh man, so nice. And then we left at like 9 o'clock at night, so we woke up at like 5 in the morning to start fishing. Dude, it was so cool waking up watching the deckhands. They were throwing they were throwing their rods out in the water, and they had these, I've never seen them before. They had these weird spikes that were sticking up, and then they had these bioluminescent like things attached to them. And what they were doing is shining a spotlight down into the water, and the squid down there would grab onto them because they would light up, and then they'd just fucking yank them up and then slide them off into the bait the bait trough. I was like, dude, that's fucking sick.
Crazy. So they were getting bait early in the morning.
Dude,
just
5 in the
through
morning,
this
just dropping them in the
flashlight.
water, hitting them with a big
that
ass
legal?
light. Oh yeah, no, dude, that's how you get
Fishing.
squid bait.
I mean, spotlighting like for deer and stuff like that, you know.
Well, no. So you're
But-
spotlighting the bait. You're spotlighting their rod, and it lights up like a Christmas tree, and then it attracts the squid. They try to grab onto it, and then when
That's
they grab
cool.
onto it, they just pull them up.
Yeah, it's not like
they'll
frog
they'll get like 5 of them
Right.
at a time though. It's crazy. They'll just bring 5 of them up at a
That's
time,
awesome.
and then they'll slink them into the fucking trough like real easy. But anyway, I want to move on. We do have a ton of news stories. I just want to talk about that because that's where I was yesterday. By the way, guys, I was absolutely crapped yesterday. I was out. I was in and out of sleep all day. I went to bed nice and early. So,
Those recovery days.
yeah, I needed the recovery day. But don't worry, I'll be streaming all day. After Joey's done with his stream, of course. I don't want to interrupt that, and I want to tune into it. So. But anyway, let's move to this next story. Do I have it pulled up for you guys? No, I do not. We have an update to Luigi Mangione, guys, and Mad Stork unfortunately wasn't able to talk about it with us. But guys, they might fumble this. They might fumble this shit. Luigi Mangione's attorneys say that the prosecutors have wrongfully obtained his medical records. Shit like this could get the case thrown out.
Yeah,
Would the case get thrown out, or would just that piece of evidence be thrown out?
it depends on how significant to the case that
Right.
piece of evidence is.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
obtaining evidence without warrants and without legal access that jeopardizes cases, even if it's just a little bit of evidence. So
But that evidence doesn't seem like it's too monumental to the case. Like they have the dude on camera.
so I haven't
Shooting
read the
this guy.
article. Maybe we can get more
Well-
info from it.
They don't show his face in that camera. They just
Sure.
yeah.
So do they have to like use his medical records as the motive to tie him to
Let's see.
why he murdered him?
Attorneys
Not
for the
sure.
man accused of gunning down the United Healthcare CEO last December now claim in a new court filing that the Manhattan prosecutors wrongfully obtained Luigi Mangione's medical records from his insurance carrier. In a letter filed Thursday, attorneys for Mangione said that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office obtained over 120 pages of information from Aetna, including information about different diagnoses as well as specific medical complaints made by Mangione without the court or defense team's knowledge. Yep, that is pretty integral. Because that gives that's evidence to motive. So that
Without the court or defense team's knowledge. Well, are you not allowed like? So when you obtain evidence, don't you have to like give it to the
Medical
defense
records,
to
you
be like,
need-
hey, this is
you need permission or a warrant for medical records.
well, I don't know. I'm not a law expert or anything, but I thought that like you could go and you could gather evidence, you bring it in and say, hey, this is what we got, and then you like go to the bench and actually like have the conversation presenting it to the jury. and
You're
whatnot.
correct, but getting access to someone's medical records, that's a separate thing when gathering evidence. You have to file for access essentially, or ask for access, and they didn't. Like it says here, it says without the defense team's knowledge. And that's the other thing too, is that when you're gathering all evidence, both sides are supposed to turn over all evidence that they have for the case. So
Hey,
if
Tyler, you should read that next paragraph too. That kind of explains what we're talking about.
Okay, so
They,
the
they
process.
said they falsely made a date.
Okay, so the prosecution improperly compelled Aetna to turn over Mangione's medical records directly to its office without facilitation from the court, according to the defense letter. The district attorney falsely made up a court date, May 23rd, 2025, and drafted a fraudulent subpoena that if Aetna did not provide documents on the date, it would be in contempt of court. Yikes. The letter says then, rather than having Aetna give the documents to the court as required by an already fraudulent subpoena, the district attorney told Aetna to provide the documents directly to the district attorney, intentionally eliminating the court from the subpoena process and ensuring the district attorney would secure these confidential medical records. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, they violated HIPAA.
Yeah.
They tricked the hospital into violating HIPAA. This is a
Right.
crime in itself. They might get in trouble for that.
Yeah,
Right. I agree with that. They should be charged for
So
that.
that we might have to have a retrial entirely then.
Yeah, mistrial possibly.
Well, is it possible for them? Sure, mistrial. Like I was going to say, is it possible for them to go and correctly subpoena them, get the actual, and just like redo this and kind of pretend like they never had it until the court case gets brought upon the district attorney for fraudulent?
I'm not sure how that works, but usually when
You get what I mean, though?
I get what you're
I
saying,
understand
but
what you're saying.
usually when evidence is obtained illegally, it can't be used in the future now. So, it could be. I'm not in New York, so it could be different. I hope that's not the case, because like I was saying, that because obviously they're going to use prior complaints to his doctors and insurers as evidence to why he would carry out this attack. So if they obtained that information illegally, that would 100% hurt the case.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I don't know. This is not good. Not good.
You like to think that
Killing
we
It
have,
Sense brings up a good point though. Was this done intentionally?
It seems like if you fraudulently make up a court date and then instead of saying submit this to the court, who then distributes it to the, the offense and the defense, he said, give it to me. It seems like, how do you do that on accident?
The next question would be what would be the benefit of doing that for either side? Are they benefiting Luigi by getting a mistrial or a retrial? Or are they benefiting the prosecution by getting access to evidence the defense doesn't have?
That's a good question.
If
I
there's
have
a
no
mistrial, do they like reselect the jury and everything?
They would have to do everything over. Yeah, it would have to reset everything.
Yeah. How far into this case are we? Like, is it possible that the prosecutor feels that they have already lost to the jury, or that there's people on there who aren't going to convict them no matter what, and so we need to find a way to get a new jury because we aren't going to be able to get a conviction from these people, so let's just scrap the case and try and find better people.
Yeah, and do you fire the prosecutor? Can it continue with a new prosecutor? Does double jeopardy apply here, where if there's a mistrial, you can't be tried again? I don't know.
Yeah, what's called? I hope that he doesn't get off on this. If this guy gets off on the assassination over some bullshit like that, it shouldn't happen. It won't happen. I don't think it will. But like you were saying, Sean, the prosecution might even be facing charges themselves now because of because of this course of action. So
They should. Well, was it the district attorney or was it the prosecution itself? Or?
The DA's office.
They're alleging that the district attorney's office obtained.
That third paragraph down, the district attorney falsely made up a court date.
Yeah, and it says up
that
here.
is in quotation.
It might not
be fair.
Yeah, read that right there. In a letter filed Thursday, attorneys for Mangione said that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, the District Attorney's Office obtained over 120 pages. So if they're just alleging that the office, they don't know the people directly, they just know that it happened. So that means an investigation would have to, take place.
Yeah, somebody's name is signed on that false subpoena.
Yeah, someone filed the paperwork, someone made the calls. So that we have to figure that out. There absolutely should be repercussions. But anyway,
how stupid! How do you fumble like that? I don't
think
you like
it's a
to think
fumble.
that you have professionals in law and in your government and whatnot, and it's time and time again where we see them just act like complete morons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to move to.
You raise a good point there, though, Tyler. Is this a situation where the district attorney sabotaged the case in order to get him released? That's interesting.
Are they trying to get him released, or was he trying to benefit himself for whatever reason for the prosecution? Who knows? I don't know. But here, let's move to this next story. We're gonna move a little. We're still kind of in the realm of healthcare, but we're talking about more international stuff. So I have this story. Gaza Hospital says that 21 children died from malnutrition and starvation just in the last 24 hours. Gaza's population of more than 2 million people is facing severe shortages of food and other essentials, with residents frequently killed as they try to collect humanitarian aid at a handful of distribution points. 21 children have died to malnutrition and starvation in various areas across the Gaza Strip. Mohammed Abu Salmiya, the director of the Al-Shifa Medical Complex in Gaza, told reporters. Abu said that new cases of malnutrition and starvation were arriving at the Gaza remaining functional hospitals every moment, warning there could be alarming numbers of deaths due to starvation. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called Gaza a horror show in a speech on Tuesday with a level of death and destruction without parallel in recent times. After talks to extend a 6-week ceasefire broke down, Israel imposed a full blockade on Gaza on March 2nd this year, allowing nothing in until trucks were again permitted to enter at a trickle in late May. However, stocks accumulated during the ceasefire have gradually depleted, leaving the territory's inhabitants experiencing the worst shortages since the start of the war in October 2023. I mean, there's just so many fucking stories that come out of this place. It's disgusting. A lot of our allies have been condemning this, what's going on over there. You have statements from Donald Trump talking about completely removing ourselves from the UN, citing anti-Israel sentiment. And it's kind of hard not to have anti-Israel sentiment when I have other stories that I could pull up where they've killed 1,000 people since one of the more recent aid sites popped up. 1,000 people seeking aid on their way to get aid, getting shot by the Israeli military.
Bro, standing in food bank lines, basically.
That's fucked up.
And then you have them trying to make you feel guilty about, like, did you see the story about the girl that was the IDF soldier that was driving a bulldozer knocking down Gaza buildings?
Yeah, and he hit a mine or something.
She died because the building collapsed on her. And you know what I mean? But they want you to feel sorry for her. But like, why the fuck are you knocking down empty buildings?
Well, yeah, and then they wanted me to.
There's nobody in it.
Yeah, well, so I've been reading so many of these.
Reconstruction.
Yeah, I know.
Well, so I've been just looking at all these stories. A lot of them are from the Western perspective in defense of Israel. But when I read these stories, what I'm reading is a government doing a sweep of an entire population, clearing them out. I mean, I read a story recently where they're like, oh no, some soldiers died on a routine sweep. They had swept the area for mines earlier, but apparently they had missed one, or a Gaza militant, as they described him, had placed one prior, and then it ended up killing a few soldiers. And it's like, oh, I'm supposed to feel bad for you when you're going into these people's homes and fucking bulldozing their houses and shit? Dude, I don't give a fuck. You kill them, they kill you. It both fucking sucks. I don't condone any of it.
Right.
I just want no part of it, you know, and let them settle their own differences. Get me out of it. Stop milking. I'm already paying for a bunch of illegals, medical benefits, dental benefits, vision benefits. I don't need to pay for the bombs that are being used to scare people out of their houses so that a bunch of assholes can run into the house while those dudes are hiding in a shelter and then lock the door.
And no one's talking about it, but and I've been reading stories just today. The last stronghold, as Israel refers to it as, is being pushed into today by the Israeli Defense Force. And they're going to be clearing it out. So essentially, what they're saying is they almost have full control over Gaza, and they will very soon. And everyone's just accepted it. It's like, oh, it's just fine. Israel owns Gaza. It's cool. It's whatever. They're gonna displace millions of people. They plan on putting 800,000 of them into a small section while they rebuild. It's ridiculous. Everyone's just come to accept it.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, were you a part of the After Dark call when G-Nails got up on stage and shared his screen and was like going through Google Maps, or maybe he had like Matt Stork pull up Google Maps or whatever, but he was showing, like, because you can go back in time, right? You can look at, you can change the date when the Google Maps image was there.
Yeah.
And it's like, from a year or so ago, and you see all these houses, and then you go to the current view, and you could just see the entire place. Everything is, black, apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's rubble.
Destroyed buildings. Yeah, it's all rubble. And it's just insane to see, just quite literally wiped off the map. You know what I mean?
But if you tell them to stop killing those Semites, you're suddenly anti-Semitic.
Yeah, when I tell you to stop killing people and stop forcing them out of their homes, I'm anti-Semitic for pointing out that they have a right to defend themselves against you being a terrorist.
And also, my specific point is the people that they're killing are Semites.
Right. Yeah. It's just
the
ridiculous.
irony, right?
But if people don't understand what the word Semite means, they just think anti-Semite means, oh, they hate Jews. No, it's bloodline, you know, and we're saying that all of these people that descend from this dude named Sem are Semites. And if one group of Semites starts killing another group of Semites, then that group of Semites, by definition, is anti-Semitic, right?
Yep. And then, dude, oh my God. Since we're talking about this, guys, I don't know if you saw the interview that Piers Morgan did with the head. So apparently she's the head of the Israeli, settlers. So she organizes a lot of these settler groups, and she's the head of all these organizations in Israel. And when Piers Morgan is talking to her, dude, she has no remorse. Absolutely. She smiles when she answers. And she talks about how he asked her directly, how do you feel about
how long ago was this?
This was like not even a week ago. He asked her, how do you feel about the thousands of children that have died in Gaza? And she said, well, their parents should teach them not to hate Israel, was her answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a video I just saw about an hour and a half ago of a dude in Gaza standing there recording like the beach where they're fishing. He's just recording the ocean on his phone, and then suddenly he falls over after a bullet hits him.
Yep.
Like, what was he doing?
Being a terrorist, Sean. He was being a terrorist.
How dare you show the world the danger and the disaster that we have created there? That's terrorism.
It's disgusting from both sides.
Makes me so mad, bro.
But no, I recommend you go watch that interview. If you're on the side of, oh, Israel's doing right, Israel's not doing anything wrong in this situation, go watch that interview from the head of the Israeli settler organization. It was absolutely eye-opening, and she basically says that they deserve that land. God gave them that land, and no one is going to take it from them.
Right.
Very, very beneficial for the people who God said gets to have it, you know?
Yeah, and she basically was like, we need to move all of them out of there. It's not their land. And then Piers Morgan asked her, well, what if we decided to take those people and then move them into, and then he named a specific part of Israel. And then he's like, what if we moved all of the Israelis out of that area and moved them elsewhere? And she's like, no, that would never happen. That would never happen. And he's like, yeah, but should it? And she was just completely opposed to it. And he's like, you see how opposed you are to that? Well, why is it that it's not okay in that situation, but it's okay for you to remove the Palestinians? And then she just repeats her answer, well, God gave us the land.
Yeah, but if you question that and you ask them to prove that they are the people that was given to, they call you anti-Semitic again.
Oh, Wolf Blossom Farms, Midwest Mysteries. He said that's the interview he brought up on After Dark the day of, actually. So yeah, no, that everyone should go watch that interview. Final thoughts on that topic, guys?
Israel Gaza is way too. I have way too many thoughts on both sides to give real final thoughts in a very short amount of time before Outworld.
Right. So, I could go for an hour or two on that, but in general, I just want my money out of it. Stop trying to sucker me into it. Stop guilt tripping me into helping you kill people. I'm done.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll just say everyone just needs to stop being fucking evil because people are dying and it's fucked up.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories, but I'm gonna save them for tomorrow because, like I said, I don't want to go over into Joey's show. So let me just find another clip to bring up here, and then I'll talk more about the stuff. Excuse me, just to quickly mention too, Donald Trump has outright said that Barack Obama is guilty of treason.
Right.
He said that in a statement.
Dude, this is my fucking wheelhouse. I'm all about this.
So just real quick, I want to just update to the Ukraine-Russia stuff because I like to follow it. They have again they have begun peace talks yet again, but Russia has said don't expect miracles in new peace talks. So that's basically that's the news right there. They are going ahead with peace talks again, set for tomorrow. So I might have some more news about that. But anyway, I want to move into this last thing. Let me pull this up for you guys so you guys can hear it.
I feel like the only peace that Putin would accept is unconditional surrender.
I
feel
agree,
it's the other way around, brother, because Zelensky was like, we can't have peace. They won't stop. We tried peace. Like, it seems to me like there is no partner for peace. It's the same argument that Israel makes.
Right.
But Russia should be making that argument right now.
It's fair.
I agree. So let's watch this clip, and then we'll go into Outworld Live with Joey Cannoli. Let's watch this clip real quick though, because I did want to talk about it.
From your perspective, who should the DOJ target as part of their investigation? What specific figures in the Obama administration?
Well, based on what I read, and I read pretty much what you read, it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him, and Comey was there, and Clapper. The whole group was there. Brennan, they were all there in a room. Right here, this was the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay. I have nice pictures up that came out of the vaults. They were there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We have the Declaration of Independence
All right, Trump, get to the
now
point.
in the room, which wasn't here. I guess people didn't feel too good about putting it here, but I do. But you know what? If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one they look. He's guilty. It's not a question. You know, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like it.
Guido in the or Guido in the chat says sedition, not treason, which a lot of people have been making that distinction. I don't really care if it's sedition or treason. The point is they were going against the country and the will of the people. Is the entire sentiment of the point.
My big question,
Go ahead.
super quick, big question surrounding this is this going to require impeachment of Obama before charges are able to be brought?
It would.
There is presidential immunity. Okay, so impeach him now.
Yeah.
So that ties to my question, too. But so like the sedition treason thing, it would depend on whether or not it was done to help an enemy, right? So if it was done for Russia, it's treason. If it was done for Obama to keep control for himself and his team, then that's still possibly treason because foreign enemies and domestic is the statement. But then it becomes a debate, you know?
Yeah, and
then
we can get into the semantics of treason or sedition. At the end of the day, they went against the will of the American people.
Charge them for whatever crime they're guilty of because they're obviously guilty of crimes.
Right. And then it becomes a question of
yes.
100%. And then it becomes a question of like, how so the president has Secret Service protection for life.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're asking, unless you impeach him first, you're basically asking the local cops to go against the Secret Service, and this is a very dangerous situation. They have to do this right.
It's the same thing. Like Trump had Secret Service protections when they were charging him with all of these crimes, right? And so hopefully there's the same level of
you'd have Secret Service at
the
you'd have Secret Service every step of the way
in abiding by the law, right? But
because otherwise it's like today I'm on shift for Trump and tomorrow I'm on shift for Obama. So like I'm defending the guy that's committing and I'm defending the guy that's accusing at the same, it's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a tough question. Now the question is, do you guys actually think we'll have anything come of it? A lot of people have been saying that it's to distract from the Epstein stuff, which I don't agree. And Tim actually had a good point about it. Essentially, the Epstein stuff, and I've been railing against it. And what's called it is a massive issue. But I don't want to get hung up on it to the point where we don't get other things done. I mean, my major issue has always been immigration. I want to focus on immigration. If he starts doing mass deportations, at the end of the day, guys, I won't give a fuck if the Epstein stuff doesn't come out, because there's enough people that care about it to where it's not going to die in the Trump administration. Maybe the next administration will do it. If we can get immigration, I'll be happy.
Well, so my biggest, I say that I was a single issue voter and my issue was governmental corruption. And so to see potentially governmental corruption being addressed and people be held accountable for their illegal actions that they've taken, like that is first and foremost what I voted for. And so I don't know if anything is going to come of it, but if nothing does come of it, then I will be losing faith in the administration, because all I want is to see evil criminals that have been fucking over the American people for decades be held accountable and be put in prison for their crimes.
I have a question
in the right direction.
I have a question for both of you and everybody in the chat. Let's say the mass deportations work and we get rid of 80% plus immigrants in the next 4 years. Crazy numbers, right? But let's say that happens. Or Obama gets retroactively impeached and then charged and then convicted. If either of those things happen, would you care that Epstein didn't get released? If either of those things happened, would you care? Because I personally would. I would still be pissed, but I'd be like, all right, I'll take the win.
Would I care? Absolutely. And I'm not convinced that these issues are not interconnected. But if we're going to do the Obama thing, then that means that everything that happened while he was president needs to be reversed. Because if he's fraudulently in the position, right, then all of the decisions that were made under his name are fraudulent.
Well, it's not that he was in the position fraudulently. It's that he was fabricating evidence and information while using his position of power. He wasn't in the position illegitimately.
Well, this is all Russiagate and Crossfire Hurricane, right? All of that took place after Obama was in office.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is, this is the handle that we grab Obama with, right? What else is behind this? Because if he's doing that, it's very difficult for me to be convinced that he's not also cheating in other ways that we just don't know about yet.
I agree, Sean, but I don't agree that we would reverse everything. You would have to go through and investigate. You don't just want to blanket reverse, right? I'm sure you would agree.
If you tug on the string and it leads us back further and further in the years to the Obama administration when they were actually in power, then sure, investigate those things that were going on back then as well. But as of right now, we know about the crimes that he committed around 2016, 2017 and stuff like that with Russiagate, right?
Right. I want it to be, I don't want to have, a nice juicy steak to sink my teeth into is a good thing. But if you took my entire cow and you gave me one steak, I don't want the steak.
That's fair. I see what you're saying.
It's just, but another analogy I could put it though, Sean, is like, what if you have someone coming through, they're just taking cow after cow, not giving you any steak, and then finally this one guy comes along, he takes your cow and he gives you a steak. Yeah, I think you'd be at least a little bit happier. You'd be like, that guy's at least better than the other people.
Yes, but I refuse to entertain the lesser of two evils. They're both evil.
No, I'm just making the point that you would agree that it might be like a fraction of a percent, but he's at least that fraction of a percent better.
He would be one fraction of a step closer to the line of acceptable, but he still wouldn't make it there.
Yeah, it still wouldn't be acceptable. You know what I agree. 100% agree.
What's crazy to me about this whole Obama thing is that, I was kind of thinking that if we were to start seeing some arrests and, all of this, bye, Tyler.
I'm here.
So Sean, as I was saying, I just see Sean and I on the camera.
No,
it is now TJ Today News.
Look, we're about to close out. I bumped you guys up. You guys say what you got to say.
Gotcha. I'll just say that I was expecting us to start with like some lower level people and like get people on smaller charges or whatever of governmental corruption. But it seems like the Trump administration is going straight for the head of the dragon and just trying to cut off the head of the dragon with the top guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I have high hopes. Like, make it happen because it needs to. The evil, corrupt motherfuckers in our government need to see that they are not safe and that they are not above the law and that they will be imprisoned for breaking the law. And as soon as you arrest all those people, you will see the new people coming in that will serve the American people and won't be serving the corrupt, lobbyists and everything like that.
And I 100% agree with that. And you know what? I've been talking about this. I talked about it on Noski's show yesterday. I talked about it a little bit on a couple other things, but I'm so far into this. I'm so like my pedal is scraping my foot is pushed through the pedal and is scraping the ground as we drive. I'm saying Obama passed something that lets the government arrest United States citizens without charge indefinitely. Use it on him. figure out the trial and the case and the charges after that. Arrest every single one of these politicians that are corrupt to the core. And if we investigate them and find out that they're, we were mistaken, release them and apologize. But most of them are going to have something stick. Yep. And he passed, what is it, NDAA 1031 or 1032? I always get those numbers confused. But he passed that, and it says that you can arrest United States citizens indefinitely without charge or trial.
No, I agree. I mean, things like that. Things like that should be overturned regardless of what happens to Obama. So.
Agreed. Use it on Obama first, then over that.
Exactly. Use it on Obama, but not just Obama, bro. Like we have like maybe 4 or 5 politicians in office right now that I'm not already convinced are corrupt somehow in some way. Arrest every single damn one of them and replace all of them. The odds of us getting a cleaner, better stock of politicians if we just do a blanket sweep is pretty high. It may not be perfect, right? But the odds that they're going to be as corrupt as they are now, as many of them would be as corrupt as they are now, it's pretty slow. It's pretty low.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
But anyway,
exactly
guys,
what I want to see.
I want to get closing statements from everybody. Shouting anything out, whatever you got to do. Sean, let's hear from you first.
First things first, shout out to Tyler Today News. Thanks for having us. Appreciate you for making the space and giving us the time to chat, throw our ideas up in the air and see if they stick to the wall. I got a Friday show, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Check me out on Rumble. The name's right on, tattooed to my chest right here. I'll see you guys there.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on, Sean. Always a pleasure. And then TJ,
anytime.
Want to close anything out?
Yep. I just follow me on X, I guess. Tarek Raines, TRAKRAINES. We'll yell leftist together. It was good hanging out, and talk to y'all soon.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you to both of you for coming on today. I look forward to speaking with both of you again. Go check out that show with Ian Crossland on Outworld Live, guys. Go check that out. Stop watching me. Go over there. I'm gonna write out to him right now. Thank you to all my panelists today. Thank you to TJ, Sean, and Mad Stork. I appreciate all you guys. Great conversations today, and I look forward to talking about all the news that I didn't talk about today tomorrow, because I want to go and watch this stream that Joey's doing. So peace out, guys. You should go watch it too. I'm going to write out to there now. Later. Invalid URL. Excuse me? Don't lie to me. Why you lie? Why would you lie? Hold up. Getting the URL. Decided to give me the wrong one. Okay, I got it. Later, guys. There you go. Sending you out.